What's going on, guys? It's Tom or Top 10 Wrestling, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be looking back at the most popular TNA matches in history, including the Knockouts Evening Gown match, which to this day has 140 million views on YouTube. We're going to be looking at the top 5 most popular matches on TNA's YouTube channel, all of which I've never seen before, and to see what the hype is about. Soon I'm going to be uploading a video on my Patreon where I watch and react to the Evening Gown match in full, so check out my Patreon down below to see that and other exclusive content. I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters Alan Barkley, Efran Martin, Mark Connolly, and Gravedigger33. Check me out on Patreon, it would help me so much during these trying times and would be really appreciated. But I'm going to stop wasting time, let's just get into this video. Coming in at number 5, we have a mixed tag match from Explosion. We have Jessie Golders and Angelina Love taking on Rebel and Nox in a completely random match. I'm interested to see why this match currently sits on 32 million views. So Jessie Golders was a former Big Brother contestant who came into TNA as the on-screen boyfriend of Tara. He is a former tag team champion along with Robbie E as the Bromans, and he's here teaming with Angelina Love, who, if you're a TNA fan, you know who she is. One of the most decorated knockouts of all time, a former Knockouts champion, Knockouts tag champion, and member of the Beautiful People. Like I said, they're up against Nox and Rebel, and Nox you might remember as Mike Knox in WWE, a character who went absolutely nowhere. He went to TNA after leaving WWE naturally, where he too went absolutely nowhere, and he's teaming with Rebel, who is a female wrestler who came into TNA as part of the Menagerie, a carny stable formed by Nox, along with Rebel, Crazy Steve, and The Freak, aka Rob Terry. And you can now find Rebel as Britt Baker's personal assistant in AEW, but let's just get into what this match is about. Angelina Love and Rebel start out the match. Angelina Love takes control, but then she gets scared of Rebel and tags in Jessie. Jessie starts flexing and turns around into Nux, who big boots him and flexes himself. Jessie gets scared and runs to Angelina, which blindsides the ref, and he pokes Nux in the eye to get the upper hand. And Jessie is in control for a while, but the size advantage is just too much for Jessie to compete with. Nux hits a drop kick and is about to pin Jessie for the win, yes, off a drop kick, but Angelina Love distracts him and Jessie gets in control over Nux again. However, of course, Nux starts dominating again, which leads to Angelina Love running in after Nux is dominating Jessie, and she gets in the way of Nux and Rebel takes her out. Then Nux hits Jessie with a sister Abigail and gets the win for him and Rebel. Why on earth does this match have 32 million views? This was boring, man. This was so boring. I don't get why this match has 32 million views, especially given it's an Explosion match, which, if you don't know what Explosion is basically TNA's version of Main Event. I don't know how this did so well in views, but more power to it, whatever. Coming in at number 4, we have an Intergender Match. Ooh. Involving Jessie Golders yet again. This video sits at 34 million views, and at this time in TNA, Jessie Golders was very new to the roster, and he had recently been revealed as Tara's boyfriend. Tara was basically hyping up that she's got a Hollywood boyfriend for weeks, and when she won the Knockouts title at Bound for Glory 2012, she revealed it was Jessie, because apparently a Big Brother contestant qualifies as Hollywood. They're currently feuding with ODB and Eric Young, who are the current Knockouts tag champions, regrettably, and it's Open Fight Night, which is basically a special Impact episode where people just call out wrestlers for a match, and ODB has called out Jessie for a match. Intergender, let's see how this goes. Jessie is visibly scared about facing ODB, and right from the get-go, ODB just starts slapping away at ODB, and Tara has to kiss his pecs better, but then ODB just continues to dodge and slap, and Jessie is just getting absolutely embarrassed so far. Jessie manages to get back into it after pushing her out the corner, and his chest is completely red. ODB dodges an elbow drop and chases Jesse and Tara on the outside. She catches Jesse and continues destroying him, and then ODB starts slamming Jesse's head into her and goes for a dive, but Jesse dodges. He starts to get into the match a bit and body slams ODB, but then ODB slams Jesse, and the finish sees Tara distracting ODB, and Jesse rolls her up for the win, and he and Tara skip away into the sunset. Just like the last one, this match does not warrant how many views it has. 34 million views. I don't understand why it has that. Like, why? Anyway, moving on, it's time to get hardcore, as the next match is a Monsters Ball match between Abyss and Bram. I will say for this match, I watched all the other matches in full, but with this one, I couldn't find the full version of it, and it's not on Impact Plus, so I just have to stick with watching the 3-minute version on Impact's YouTube channel, so I just have to rate the 3 minutes that I'm watching. But like I said, this match is between Abyss and Bram. We all know Abyss, TNA's hardcore specialist, and Monsters Ball is the match that he created, but never really won all that much. Bram has just come into TNA months prior, and he is already making some waves very quickly into his run, so let's see what he can do. We start off this video, and the first thing we see is Abyss pouring out some thumbtacks. Hell yes, I'm always up for some thumbtack spots. But Bram smashes Abyss over the head with a kendo stick multiple times, but Abyss no-sells it and goes for the choke slam, but Bram luckily gets out. Bram picks up Janice and looks to hit Abyss with it, but now Abyss chokeslams him onto the tacks. Absolutely brutal. Abyss looks to finish him off with Janice, but Magnus comes in and snatches Janice away, and then Bram spears Abyss through a barbed wire board, and then it hits him with Janice in the gut and pins Abyss to win the Monsters Ball. That was only 3 minutes of the match, but that was still easily the best match I've watched so far. But to be fair, that's probably not difficult, because did you see the other 2 matches? But anyway, on to more hardcore. Hell yeah, I'm starting to like this video now, as coming in at number 2, we have Eddie Edwards versus Davey Richards in a street fight. This match sits at 84 million views, and this took place on the February 16th, 2017 episode of Impact. Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards were a very successful tag team known as the Wolves, but they exploded after Davey cost Eddie the world title, and now they face off in a street fight. Eddie Edwards calls out Davey Richards, and Davey comes in and attacks Eddie from behind, and the match begins. This match is very intense, and you can tell it's a very personal rivalry between these two, and they're really taking it to each other. Davey Richards is very much in control with the help of Angelina Love for the first portion of this match. Eddie Edwards hits one of the craziest topes I've ever seen as he goes over the barricade, but Angelina Love distracts Eddie Edwards, and Davey smashes him with a steel chair for Davey Richards to get back in control. And Angelina Love and Davey Richards look to finish off Eddie, but then Alicia Edwards, Eddie's wife, comes out and attacks Love and Davey. However, Angelina Love socks her in the face and then handcuffs her to the rope, so Alicia now can't get involved, and Angelina is about to brutalize her with a chair, so Eddie Edwards covers her, and then Davey starts destroying him with a chair as Alicia is forced to watch. Davey hits Eddie with a concerto. Angelina Love low blows the ref, and she counts to 3 for Davey Richards as they exit the ring. That was a ride, and it was awesome. Angelina Love and Davey Richards look like the most despicable heels coming out of it. If I was watching TNA at this time, I would have been so excited to see how Eddie Edwards redeems himself from this. I really liked this. This was cool. And next up, it's the match you've all been waiting for. I've probably put it as the title and the thumbnail for this video. This is the most popular TNA match in history, the Knockouts Evening Gown match. Let's see what this is all about. It's Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, the beautiful people, versus Madison, Rayne and Brittany, and it's an elimination tag match, and you are eliminated if you are undressed from your gown, essentially. Velvet Sky and Love are in black gowns, whereas Brittany and Rayne are in white gowns, and this match was actually pretty good. Like, it was actually alright. I mean, when I saw the stipulation, I just thought of like the old Divas division matches, and I was like, okay, this isn't going to be great, is it? But I kind of forgot that Angelina Love, Madison, Rayne, like, they're very good in the ring, and so they had a pretty good match here. Brittany is the first eliminated as Angelina Love held her down and Velvet Sky undressed her, essentially making this a 2-on-1 handicap match with Madison Rayne all by herself, but Madison manages to eliminate Velvet Sky, and now it's down to Angelina and Madison one-on-one. These two have a pretty good match here. Madison starts taking it to Angelina and looks as though she's on course to win, but Velvet Sky comes down with a towel around her and causes a major distraction for the referee, to which Angelina Love takes advantage of and uses the hairspray while the ref is distracted and undresses Madison Rayne to win. That right there is the most popular TNA match of all time, and in all fairness to it, it was pretty good. It was just pretty good. Given the stipulation, it obviously holds them back a bit, but I thought they made the most of it and did a really good job. Even if this wasn't the stipulation, like, they managed to have a good match in evening gowns, which says a lot about their ability in the rings. But overall, these matches really don't warrant how many views they have. I think the top 3, you can make an argument for them because they were good, but number 4 and 5 were just boring as hell. Like the Jesse Goddard matches, I like Jesse, I really do, but should they have this many views? Doesn't really warrant it. Much love to you, Jesse, though, love your stuff, but they don't deserve that many views. I'm just giving my opinion. Thanks for watching though, guys. If you did enjoy, smack the like button. I just wanted to take this time at the end of the video to say, because I think it's very important I use my platform, given I have such a large, well, not a large one, but a relatively bigger one than most people. I want to say I stand with every victim who has came out with their brave stories regarding the hashtag speaking out movement going around Twitter. There's a big change that needs to be made in wrestling, and while the whole thing really leaves me lost for words, what I can say is that I stand with them, and wrestling needs a big change. And the fact is that this stuff has been going on for years. People have been covering it up, people have been doing it, and it needs to change, it needs to stop, and it's just wrong. And I know, like, I'm not making any groundbreaking news by saying that, but I think with the platform that I have, it's worth spreading that message. So go on Twitter, show your support for everyone coming out, and let's make wrestling better. Thank you for watching, everyone.